Hello and welcome. I'm Rexel, and today I'm going to be talking about interviewing with Kathy from Student Engagement and Career Development. Hello, Kathy.
Hi, Rexel.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm great, thank you. So, Kathy, there's a lot of pressure when we think about presenting ourselves to an employer. We as students feel like so much is dependent on that impression. So, what would make a good first impression with an employer?
It makes people nervous. It makes lots of people nervous, and not just first-time job seekers or students. But it's something you'll probably do many times during your life, so it's a good thing to learn how to practice and prepare for. The impression that you make with a potential employer begins as soon as you make that first contact, so it's long before you get to a face-to-face interview. All of the interactions that you have count, whether they are uploading your application materials on a website or contacting them through an email or through a phone conversation. All of these begin to build rapport with the employer.
Rapport. What do you mean by building rapport with the employer?
Rapport is the connection or the relationship that starts as soon as you apply. It's the professionalism that you show through your application materials and the interactions that you have. Your manners build rapport. How do you communicate with people? How do you interact with people? All these interactions and the communications that you have long before you ever meet face-to-face are part of building that rapport. So think of it as being on stage from the first time that you make that contact. You need to present yourself professionally, but also especially when you get to the face-to-face interview. So for instance, in a video chat, you want to be aware of the whole time that you're connected with them. And then in a face-to-face interview, as soon as you get on the premises, you are on stage. So that person that maybe you ride in an elevator with, or the person that you walk down the hallway with, that might be the person that's going to be in the interview room with you in just a few minutes.
Nice. All right. So I understand that the way I act is very important. Does it make a difference of what I'm wearing?
Dress also builds rapport with the employer. It shows that you are serious about the job, that you understand the industry, and it conveys respect. It's important to understand the industry. So you might want to know, for instance, whether or not there's a formal dress code. A casual startup might not require a full suit, but even a casual startup, you would want your dress to be professional and polished. So think about dressing a little bit more professional maybe than the average employee. But you also want to be comfortable, so don't make the day of your interview the first time that you try on an outfit. Think of it as kind of a dress rehearsal and practice before you go. You might also think about covering tattoos and removing piercings, not wearing excessive jewelry or too much makeup. And it's not that you want to change who you are, but you want the interviewer to focus on what you have to say, not something that might distract from them getting to know you.
Right. So we've talked about manners and dressing the part. The part that really makes me nervous is knowing how to act. So how do I know what to do?
Remember, your manners start from that first contact, and you want to remain professional and courteous through all of your interactions, no matter the type of interaction. And just keep in mind that your manners continue to build rapport with the employer and at the interview. So think about how you greet people, your smile, shaking hands, eye contact, your body language, your posture. All these things make an impression. So you want to build confidence in yourself, and you want to be confident, which will make others confident in you. And part of that is in how you act. And you can practice all of this every day. So think about just being genuine in your interactions with people, the way you say hello to people, when you order coffee in the morning, practicing eye contact, your listening skills, the way you sit in class. All of these things are things that you can practice so that your manners just become something that's natural.
Nice. Okay, so once I get the actual interview, what's important for me to tell the interviewer? What information is deemed the most important within interviews?
Everything you've done to this point has been important to build that rapport. But now it's your chance in that face-to-face interview to really convey that you're the best candidate. So a very common question that you need to be prepared for is, tell me about yourself. And it seems really simple, but it is something that you need to practice and prepare for. It's your chance to get things rolling, to connect with those who are interviewing you, and it's your opportunity to highlight your skills and your experiences and make an impression upon them that you are the right fit for the job.
Nice. Okay, so should I say just some background about myself, or is it more specific than that?
You want to be able to give a brief introduction about yourself, about 60 to 90 seconds, and think about following a format of what, how, and why. So the what will be your education, your skills, your experiences, and how those relate to the position. The how will highlight how you've used those skills and experiences. Maybe you highlight a specific project that you've been involved in and how it relates to the job. And then the why is telling them why you're a fit for the job and why you want to work for this organization. So whereas you can't predict every question and you don't want to come across as having memorized answers, this really is one that you can prepare and practice for and tailor it to the specific position.
Okay, so to summarize, being ready for an interview involves some reflection and preparation, which requires planning in advance.
Yes, and the great thing is you can start preparing and practicing right now, and then you can start adding in some research once you have an employer in mind, and you're well on your way to building rapport.
Well, thank you so much, Kathy. This was a pleasure.
Thank you, Rexel.